Alrighty, guys. It's 10 a.m. We have quite a group here. Just wanted to go ahead and get started. A little brief introduction in the beginning anyway, so that way if we do have a couple stragglers, it won't be that big of a deal. My name is Jesse Hobson. I'm with SHSU Online, and in today's workshop, we're going to cover some basics on creating narrated PowerPoints to share with students within an online space. So first of all, why would you want to use PowerPoint? Video conferencing technologies like Zoom? The simple answer is that it gives you more ways to distribute information to students. With a large portion of universities converting remote delivery due to the virus, we may see disruptions in online services due to the sheer amount of people connecting to services like Zoom or Skype. So it is nice to have an alternative way to get students the information. It's definitely a valuable resource regardless, and it's definitely worth knowing how to use it properly. I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely had some hiccups in my internet as of late. Seems like everyone is hopping on there, and it's just not necessarily as fast as I'm used to. I guess there's quite a good group of people working from home as of late. So in today's workshop, we'll cover how to get Microsoft Office if you don't already have it installed. Going to go over some of the basics of PowerPoint, and then we're going to record voice to PowerPoint slides. That's ultimately the meat and potatoes of this production here this morning. And then lastly, we're going to kind of finalize things with how to distribute those PowerPoints and video recordings to the students. I also want to mention before we move forward, if you guys have any questions that are crucial to like that particular moment, feel free to unmute yourselves or jump on the chat and ask questions. We have a decent sized group, but it's nothing that we can't manage. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So firstly, you're going to want to get PowerPoint. So we're going to have to basically we're going to cover how to get Microsoft Office. If you are an SHSU employee, you already have an Office account and you can download software directly from Microsoft Office. So I'm going to share my screen here. Just give me one moment. All right. If it looks a little fuzzy in the beginning, it'll start looking good here momentarily. And we are going to go to Office 365, so www.office.com. And I'm already logged in here. I'm going to log out so you can kind of see what it's supposed to look like if you were just to interact with this, without being logged in. All right, so this is pretty much a similar screen as to what you would have. I can sign back in, obviously. So I'm going to go to sign in. And then it prompts me to come to SHSU, and then I would log in. I believe there is a section on here. If I wasn't recognized, it would say something. Let's see. Switch to a different account. It would say something along the lines of, "Would you want to use your work or school option?" And then that's what you would select, and then you would move forward to this area, and it would log you in here. I like to stay signed in. It kind of alleviates the disruptions. And from that point, you're going to get this screen here. So what you're seeing here is this is going to be kind of like Microsoft Lite up here. All of these programs are accessible, but as far as the training we have today, some of the items that we need aren't going to be available. So there will be ways that you can kind of go through this and make a PowerPoint or make other items through these options, but they're not going to be like the apps in full. So what I would recommend is installing Office, clicking install Office up here in the top right corner. From that point, you would click Office 365 apps. And what it's going to do is it's going to install those apps, or if you already have them installed on your computer, it's going to update them. I will mention from past experience, kind of preparing for this PowerPoint presentation, I had to install my apps because the main function of what I needed PowerPoint for was not allowing me to record. So I had to install this new PowerPoint, and everything seems to be functioning properly. Just want to touch base, make sure you guys are good so far. Do you have any questions? Feel free to jump in at any time, chat or audio. All right. If you are not an SHSU employee, you may need to contact your IT department for access or purchase the software directly. It is definitely an amazing tool, so I would definitely recommend that. I think someone mentioned in one of my other presentations that they are available at the other colleges as well, so that's pretty awesome. So from this point, we're going to jump into PowerPoint. I already have it installed. So we're going to open it up, open up a new PowerPoint. And we're going to start with a blank presentation. If this is your first time with PowerPoint, like if you wanted to learn a little bit more, I know most of us have probably used PowerPoint professionally, you know, with school, other ways as well. You can take a tour. It's definitely beneficial if you kind of want to see the ins and outs. We're just going to go over a brief kind of items today, but nothing, you know, too crucial. But there's definitely more out there if you wanted some more information. So we're just going to start with a blank presentation today. And what we get is what it is, a blank presentation. Over here in the right-hand corner or right-hand side, we do have other ideas for new presentations. We have some cheetah, you know, some leaves, some other things. So if you wanted to spruce up your presentation, there's options to be had. So up here, what you're going to notice is there is options for home, insert, draw, design. I mean, there's a million things you can do here. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar. For the purposes of today, we're going to be just kind of making new slides, nothing too technical, but we can add sections, and we can adjust the layout. So like if I just added this slide here, if I wanted a particularly different layout, I could change the layout. And then over here, it gives you some different ideas as to, again, how to spruce up your PowerPoint, make it look a little bit more professional. So with this first one, we're just going to kind of throw that on there. The second one, we're going to throw this on here, just to kind of, you know, differentiate the different slides. We'll change this one to this guy. All right, so we'll jump back to the first one, and what we're going to do here is I want to show you guys how to add a photo. So you could click to add text here if you wanted to, but I selected this box, we're going to delete that box, and we're going to create our own box. So we're going to add a photo, and we're going to click online pictures. So what that brings up is basically a huge group of pictures that we can kind of choose from. They're varied, you know, kind of general photos, and you can find things here to just add to your PowerPoint to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's just add this little summer one, no reason particular, and it gets added straight to the PowerPoint. And we can adjust the size however we like, and we can move it around wherever we want it. That's just one way to add photos as well. Now, if you wanted to grab some from your computer, you could do that as well. And then if there's you wanted to grab one from online that you saw, this is from if I'm on a MacBook. So if I had some photos in my apps, like if I took some photos with my photo booth, like if I took some with my kid, or if I took some with myself, I could throw those on there as well. So there's definitely many options as far as getting photos onto a PowerPoint. Now, same with text. So I just made a little text box here. I clicked the A that's inside the box, and then I grew the box. And then what you do from this point is you click it, and then you just start typing. So notice that it is white text, so obviously I need to adjust Let's see. Oops. So select the text, and then I can make it whatever color I like. So I'm gonna make it black so everyone can see it. But I can adjust whatever I type up here in the, the font selections. I can adjust the size, I can adjust the color, I can adjust anything and everything, just like any other text box that you guys have probably have dealt with in the past. Let's see. All right, so from that point, I'm gonna throw something up here as well, just to kind of insert. And let's throw one more picture up here. We have a summer theme going today, guys. All right. So what we're going to go to next is, like I've described earlier, kind of the meat and potatoes of this presentation. We're going to record a slideshow. We're going to add narration to our PowerPoint. So what you're going to want to do is click slideshow, come down to record slideshow. And what it's going to do is it's going to prompt you and send you to a new field here. And as you can see in the top left-hand corner, we have a countdown. What this one is displaying is the entire slideshow. This one here is another countdown in the middle that's going to be displaying the current slide. And you're going to be seeing the slide that you're working on right here. And then to the right, we're going to be seeing the next slide. So right now, because it's counting down, you're going to be seeing, it's actually recording my audio right now onto this particular slide. So as soon as I click the next slide, we're going to be jumping into the next slide and throwing audio onto that. Now, if you do need to edit these later, I do recommend, taking a brief pause before jumping into the next slide. So what we're going to want to do is stop and jump into the next slide. So now we're on slide 2. We're recording audio onto the second slide. It's summer. This photo is unknown author, licensed by CCBYNB. And this is a perfect addition to our PowerPoint production. And we're going to jump into the third slide momentarily. Brief pause. We are currently on slide 3. Sometimes I like to wait actually until it says 1 on the current slide. That way I know that I'm recording and it's a brand new slide. So this slide, we're going to say we're done with audio on the slide 3. And we're on slide 4. So now we're going to be kind of finalizing our slideshow. Now I'm done recording on this particular slideshow, so I'm going to end show, or I could hit next as well because it's the end of the slideshow, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit end show. And it says the total time for your slideshow is 1 minute and 56 seconds. So that basically recorded all of the audio from 1 to 4, and it says, do you want to save these timings? Yes, I would like to save these timings. As you can see here, it has 59 seconds, 23 seconds, 17 seconds, and 15 seconds. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you might notice a little kind of like sound noise or sound icon. What that is displaying is the audio for each slide. So we have recorded slides. Now what do? Do we want to check them out? We would definitely want to check them out. So what we're going to do is click this play from start. And when I do this, it's going to jump right into the PowerPoint and start playing my audio. And send you to a new field here. And as you can see in the top left-hand corner, we have a countdown. What this one is displaying is the entire slideshow. And jump into the next slide. So now we're on slide 2. We're recording audio onto the second slide. We are currently on slide 3. And we're on slide 4. All right, so as you can see, it definitely did record audio on each slide, and I was able to jump back and forth between each slide just to make sure that it was handled appropriately. So let's say I have an issue with one slide, and I'll just say that this first one is not ideal just because I could hear some background noise on that one. So what I'm gonna wanna do is I can clear that slide. So I'm gonna clear timing on that particular slide. Or if I really wanted to, I could actually just record again and it'll actually record over top of that audio. So just for the sake of this presentation, I'm gonna clear the timing on that current slide. See it jump down to 0. There's nothing listed there. And then I will, let's see, I'm gonna record slideshow again. Alrighty guys, we're gonna take slide 1, back in stride. We're gonna redo slide 1. Summer is definitely the best season. And I think that that's all we need to say for that particular slide. And total time for that slide was 14 seconds. Do you wanna save the new timings for that slide? Yes, I do. So as you can see, that slide was kind of overwritten. We have our other 4 slides. They're ready to go. They're perfectly fine. And we are ready to save this presentation. So I just wanted to touch in with you guys real quick. You guys doing okay? Any questions so far? Oh, alrighty. If you do come up with something, feel free to jump in with chat or turn your mic off and you can ask questions, not a problem at all. So from this point, we have a couple different options and we can get into how to distribute the videos after this. That'll be the next step, but there's a couple ways you can save this. So of course you can save it, just as a PowerPoint, and we can save it as summer PowerPoint. And notice the file format down here, it's a PowerPoint presentation. We can save it to the desktop and we can actually send that to our students as well. So if we wanted them to receive that document, as a PowerPoint with the audio on the PowerPoint, we can definitely do that. Now, what's really neat about the updated PowerPoint and the Office 365 is we can actually export this PowerPoint as a video file. So all I did there, let me step back 1 second. We can go to PowerPoint up here. We click File, we come down to Export, click Export, and then from that point, it's going to give me a couple different options. Right now, it's selected as PDF. We're going to want to click that PDF and then export it as MP4. MP4 is a type of video file, so what you're going to be doing is exporting it as a video file. Quality, presentation quality, that's perfectly fine. I mean, you could go lower if you really wanted to, but presentation quality is perfectly fine. And then down here, you definitely want to click timing, use recording timings and narrations, because what that's going to do is it's going to spit this PowerPoint out as a video file with your narrations, with your timings, and it's going to be a solid video file. So we're going to export that as summer PowerPoint video. All right, that's being created. You'll see down here in the bottom that it is creating it. It might take a couple seconds just because we do have a little bit of audio there. Obviously the bigger the file, the longer it will take. And as soon as that's done, we will check it out just to make sure everything's good. So I just want to open up the floor to questions while we're waiting on that. Shouldn't be too much longer, but I just want to make sure you guys are doing okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Why would you save it as an MP4 versus a PowerPoint? What's the advantage?
Well, it would be a video file. So there's a couple different ways to distribute it if it was a video file. Mm-hmm. You could send it as a YouTube link. You could send it as a Kaltura link.
Okay.
You could actually, I mean, there's...
I got you. Yeah, you just have more options that way is how you send it out.
Yes, ma'am. And I think sometimes a video is a little bit more palatable for students to, they wouldn't have to do the work of jumping from slide to slide. It would ultimately just be a solid product that would kind of play from start to finish all on its own.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
just to kind of give you an idea, like we have the PowerPoint here, so I saved it, and I mean, it would just pull up like a straight up normal PowerPoint. So like if you sent this to a student, it would literally just be the PowerPoint.
Okay.
And then from that point, if we were to send them the video file, and
Mm-hmm.
alrighty guys, we're going to take what slide 1, back in Stride. We're going to redo slide 1. Summer is definitely the best season, and I think that that's all we need to say for that particular slide. So it would be like less self-guided and more just kind of like you would be sending the content exactly the way that you would want it to be sent. And we're actually going to jump into how to deliver it too, so that might make a little bit more sense once we do that.
Thank you.
Not a problem at all. Thank you for your question. So yeah, now we're going to jump to distribution, just because we do have the video files ready to distribute. And first and foremost, we're going to jump into OneDrive. SHSU employees already have access to OneDrive with an increased storage amount of 1 terabyte. Login process is similar to office.com, and you use your SHSU username and password. Now, if you are not with SHSU, they have some pretty interesting options as well. Like right now, they're offering up to 5 gigs for free for anyone. So it is definitely worth taking a look at. So like if I click this, it would take me to the free plan, but I can pull, let's see, this should show it as well. Let's see. Yeah, see, here are the different items we have. So Sam Houston is already working with this. We have 1 terabyte available, or excuse me, it's this one. 365 personal, 1 terabyte. But if you were just to kind of join up without SHSU, like if you were to have your own personal, you would have up to 5 gigs for free. And that is quite a bit of storage depending on how much stuff you would keep on there. But you can definitely have a good amount of files available to share with students or whoever you like ultimately. So we're going to jump into OneDrive. Like I mentioned, it's going to kind of log in the same way as we did earlier with Office 365. So I hit sign in the top right hand corner. And I'm logged into OneDrive. So with this here, I mean, there's a couple different ways you can send files. So I have a presentation here available.
I don't think we can see your screen. I can't see your screen.
Okay.
It's back.
Okay, thank you. All right, sorry about that. So I'm logged into OneDrive now, and I have a presentation available right here that I could send to anybody. So what I would want to do is I've already created a link for it. So if I wanted to share this with a student, or if I wanted to share this with anyone, like let's say I was on Facebook or I was chatting with my aunt or something, and I found that she would think this was interesting. All I would do is I would copy the link. I would hit these little 3 dots, or I'd hit this arrow here, and I would copy the link, and the link is copied, and I would literally just copy that. And like if I wanted to now, since we're in this together, I could send this in chat and share that with you, and you could open it up on your computer. Not a problem at all. It's basically just kind of like a shortcut around hyperlinking, and you would ultimately just be able to open and share that file to alleviate most stress. It's just a quick way to get things sent. And there's another way we can do that through Kaltura, but that's pretty much the quickest way of sending something through through OneDrive. So for example, another example would be, so this presentation, there is a PowerPoint that does work with it as well. So I would copy the link, and it's copied, and I can send this to you guys in chat. Bear with me. Oops. And you guys should be able to open that up, and it'll open straight up a PowerPoint for you guys to view along with this before or after the presentation. And you can kind of, what's really interesting about OneDrive is you can kind of decipher who sees what. So you can have private items that you don't share, like on your item or throughout your OneDrive. And then also too, you kind of decide who sees everything. So anyone you send that link to is ultimately who can see it. So if they have that link, they can open up the PowerPoint. From that, we're going to jump into YouTube. So obviously with YouTube, you're going to want to have a YouTube account. And we're going to create a video, upload video. And it's fairly easy. It's like most things. You're literally just going to drag the video you want to upload, and it's going to start uploading it right away. You can name it here. It's already processing the video, and that's really it. Right now, there's some stuff going on with protection, the Privacy Protection Act, COPA, and other laws. So you'd want to say no, it's not made for kids. And then, kind of the same way as OneDrive, all you would have to do to share the video would be to copy this link here and just send it however you like. Now, there are some options as far as how you would want to make this visible. So there are 3 different options: public, and I think this is a big concern with most people that have never worked with YouTube, is like they just kind of assume that every time you upload something, it's visible to everyone. Well, if you make it public, that definitely is true. But you can also change it to unlisted, and unlisted is kind of like how I was describing OneDrive a moment ago. Anyone with the video link can view your file. So if I sent you this video link in chat, you could have the video link, you could view the video, you could share that with whoever you like. And then private, the last option, is only you and people you choose to see your video. So like I could see it, and then like I would have to actually manage the emails and logins who would be able to view it. So there is security within YouTube, and there's definitely some options you can play with. Just bear in mind, if you've never used YouTube before, you will have to verify your account before using it. There are some restrictions as far as what you can do and how long your videos can be. It doesn't take too long. I can send a link for that as well, on how to handle those restrictions and how to verify your account. All right, so from this point, we're gonna kind of jump to Kaltura, the next option. So we went over OneDrive. We're gonna come back to OneDrive, and we're gonna come back to YouTube, but we're gonna show you how to upload through Kaltura as well. We're on shsu.edu. We're gonna hit Campus Tools. We're gonna select Blackboard. Gonna log in. And then from this point, I'm gonna go to my courses. Mine might look a little bit different than yours. And see. Just making sure everything's still in the right spot. All right, we're gonna go to course content. And as you can see, I kind of have some examples here already, but we're gonna show you how to upload through Kaltura. What you're gonna want to do is select My Media here at the top. It might take a moment to load. And what we're gonna want to do is select Add New. Select Media Upload. And kind of like YouTube, we can either drag and drop or we can select the file. I'm just gonna drag and drop the summer PowerPoint video that we worked on earlier. And it will upload it. Same idea. You can, media page will be visible content for you, the owner only, or you can make this, you can publish it and share this with other people, you know, within your staff. So for this, the purposes of this, we're just gonna save it to private. Okay. All right, so as of right now, the media is being processed, so that might take a moment. I'm gonna jump back to my courses. We are now back in my course, and we are back in course content. So now that we have the videos and items uploaded, now how do we get them into the course? So ultimately, we can create an item within our course. With this one, what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna start off with the YouTube. We're gonna wait on Kaltura just because it's still processing. And YouTube video link. Something to keep in mind when you are working with Blackboard, this arrow sometimes hides some of your options. So just make sure that it is, you know, pointed up. That way you have more options available to you. And we're gonna open a new tab, go back to YouTube, and we're gonna share this Jack Black video.
I've seen.
Everybody likes Jack Black. So what we're gonna do is, this will work with any YouTube video, by the way. You just click share here, and you have a short link if you wanted to share this that way. But for our purposes, what we're gonna wanna do is click embed. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna give us a little HTML code here. And we select all of that HTML code, and we're gonna copy it. From this point, we jump back to Blackboard, click down here, and what we're gonna wanna do is select HTML because we have a code copied. So we click HTML and it brings up a new little word area for us to type, and we paste it right there and we click update. Now it's gonna appear yellow. You did not do anything wrong. Just kind of how they display HTML codes prior to it being processed. We hit submit, and we scroll down. There we have a Jack Black Legendary Performance YouTube link, and you can share this to whoever you like. It's going to be available in your course. All right, now we're going to kind of take one more step back. We're going to jump back to OneDrive. And I have this link available. This is the PowerPoint workshop that we are currently working on. I copied the link, and we're gonna jump back to our course content in Blackboard. We're going to create a new item. And kind of the same thing we were looking at earlier. We're going to type in PowerPoint workshop OneDrive link. And I just typed OneDrive link because that's what I want it to look like. You can really type anything you want there. This is kind of just to alleviate the, that really long link that you have there, because that's not very not very satisfactory to the eyes, and we want to make it look clean. So whatever you want to label the link, you can. I want to label it OneDrive link, click here. And from that point, what we're going to do is create a hyperlink. So you're going to click this little chain here, insert edit link. So what we're going to be ultimately doing is inserting a link. So I select the text. I already have the link ready to go. I copied it. Now I'm going to paste it there. And you're going to want to come down here to open in new window, blank. The reason is because with working with Blackboard, it has some security issues with opening a new window within itself. And to kind of bypass that, we just open it in a new link, or a new window, I'm sorry. So we hit insert. Notice that it changed to blue, and it has the line under it. It's now a clickable link. We hit submit, and there it is there. So we're going to click it, and it's going to pop up the PowerPoint. So you kind of talked about the question earlier was why would you do a video over a PowerPoint? And I mean, this is definitely a really cool way to deliver a PowerPoint. But ultimately, it's really up to you how you want to deliver it. But we're just trying to give you some more options because, like I mentioned at the very beginning of this presentation, I've been having some internet issues, and then I've also been having some issues with the performance of particular products as well. So lastly, we're gonna create an item, and we're gonna do a Kaltura video. Come down here, click mashups, and it should be in my Kaltura media. If it's done processing, yeah, it is. So we have the summer PowerPoint video. And kind of like with the YouTube, this is its way of kind of showing you that it is here, but HTML is kind of processing. It won't really show you what it looks like until you hit submit. And we come down to the very bottom, and we have the summer PowerPoint video available. So today we kind of went over, how to get a YouTube video in your Blackboard. We went over how to get a OneDrive link in your Blackboard and a Kaltura video in your Blackboard, as well as how to record the audio on your PowerPoints. I kind of wanted to open it up to you guys because that kind of is kind of the ending as far as like what I have to show you. But let me see. I have a couple more things I can show you here. Let's see. Now, when this is all over, and if you have any further questions, we do have a SHSU Online support desk 24/7. You can call us at 936-294-2780. We can assist you via email as well, blackboard@shsu.edu, and you can even tweet us at SHSU Online. Also, myself and my staff, we are available at media@shsu.edu. So if you want to deal with us directly, you can do that as well. But yeah, as far as this presentation, that is really all I have for you. I'm going to copy some links. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But if you guys have any questions, you can throw them at me now, and I will throw some links up in the chat as well.
I was just wondering if you have to, when you're recording audio, you don't have to stop it for each slide, you can just continue talking. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I mean, you can do it either way. With myself, and I prefer to kind of just keep going. And then if whenever I go and play it back, if I notice that there's an issue at that time, that's when I would maybe edit one particular slide or edit, if there's an issue with a slide, make the correction then.
Is there a limit to the time that it'll allow you to record?
No, there is no limit. Obviously, you want to make it so that it is palatable. So you want to break it down as because you can't really expect someone to sit there for an hour or 2 hours.
Right.
Because we outside of this, we do have a studio where we record lessons for online courses as well, and even with those professors, we try to keep a video in palatable times. So like if you can keep it down maybe to 30 minutes or so, that would be ideal. But if you go over that, that's not a problem as well, like not a problem at all. But keep in mind though too, the longer the video or the longer the recording, the bigger the file, and it'll take that much more longer to process, and then you'll just be working with a much larger file.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Not a problem at all. That's a great question too. So, and if there's any more that are like that, or if there's something like that comes to you guys later, like I said, don't be afraid to reach out to us, and we can kind of further assist you as well.
Yeah, just another point about that. We had a session yesterday where a professor said that he prefers to break, it may be one lecture, but he'll make maybe 3 PowerPoints just to kind of keep them small and short and palatable. That way they're not trying to watch necessarily maybe a 2-hour video on a lecture. He'll kind of break it up so it's easier for the students to digest, and it gets the file sizes down too.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where the more you work with it, the more you'll kind of realize what works for you. I mean, we've been kind of doing this similar stuff for quite some time, and it is definitely a learning process. So, sometimes you figure out ultimately what works for you over time. That was a great question, though.
Hey, Jesse, just quick note to everybody. I did put some links in chat for you guys. So there's a link to a YouTube recording if you'd like to view this session again. There's also a link to a OneDrive link where you can see all the files that were used to create this in a file browser as well.
Yeah, those are definitely great resources. I mean, even just preparing for this, I can definitely say that I've learned quite a bit, and there definitely is tools available out there that I was not aware of, and I can't stress this enough. Tools will fail. We've had them fail while we've been doing these sessions, so just something to keep in mind. If it doesn't hurt to know another tool, even if you have a tool that you prefer, just because sometimes that tool might be down for a couple days. So we are here to help, media at SHSU. And yeah, we're open to questions. So if anyone has any more, feel free to jump in at any time via chat, via voice, or if you have any for later, we can definitely deal with those through email.
Thank you very much for doing this.
Not a problem. Thank you for joining us. Alrighty. Well, if nobody has anything else, I'm going to let it go here momentarily. I'm going to let it sit till 10:45, and then from that point, I will close the video. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm really okay. Does it need to be linear?
Hey, Chad, for something like that, if you do like to go back and forth between slides, PowerPoint may not be the best tool. You may want to go to one of our Kaltura sessions, because that's going to be a screen recorder. with a mic attached. That way it's just going to record your whole screen as you go, and then you can kind of freely use your PowerPoint as you want. It's going to be difficult to record the PowerPoint and go back and forth between slides and record that audio.
Great question, though. Alrighty, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up unless I see another chat pop up. But again, thank you for joining us, and thank you honestly for the great questions. Those were fantastic and things that I did not think about. So they definitely added to the experience today. All right, everybody have a good day. Stay safe, and we'll be here if you need us.
Thank you.